especially with the NBA season being on strike, it's a great time for college basketball. And obviously I'm excited, as I am every year, about getting started and what the future holds. And for us this year, that's even more important than any other time, since we're such a young basketball team. So our slogan for this year, "The future begins now," we really mean that. We're a young group, and we're looking for some exciting things from this group as the season progresses. This kind of takes me back to my high school days a little bit, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really had a lot of fun the first couple of weeks of practice here, and just watching these guys grow and develop. They're very attuned, they're good listeners, they're hard workers, they're very coachable, they haven't been tainted too much and everything else. So it's just fun having a bunch of young guys that are working extremely hard, and they just give you their undivided attention. And as a coach, you feel really good about that. Now, how good we're going to be, early in this year is another thing. Obviously, we've got a lot of things to teach, a lot of things to put in our system, but at this point, I've really enjoyed having this young group, and we're going to take some lumps this year, but I think we're going to do some exciting things too. Obviously, guys with the kind of talent like Rashawn and Lenny had, it's going to be very, very difficult to replace them on a one-on-one basis. So basically what we've explained to our guys, and the way we're looking at it, is we're going to have 2 or 3 guys pick up the scoring where those 2 guys left off. Maybe 4 guys have to pick up scoring. I doubt out of this group we're going to have somebody that's going to have the numbers that Lenny had. But if we can get a couple post guys to rebound the basketball, give us those kind of numbers, I think we're going to be okay. That's probably going to be the biggest area for us, how we're going to get points, how we're going to score, and how we're going to score consistently. So we've got to be very, very good at execution. We've got to be very, very good at trusting each other, being unselfish with the basketball, and then we're going to have to make some scrappy plays. We're going to have to rebound the ball well. We're going to have to pick up loose balls. We're going to have to force turnovers. We're just going to have to change the way the game is played, because we're just not that big or talented enough just to come down and beat people in a half-court situation. Yeah, I'm very proud of Vinny. When we got Vinny came in here as a transfer from Sac State, and when we got him here, it was a little struggle for him academically, a little bit struggle all over the place, and I'm so proud of the progress that he's made, not just on the basketball court, but in the classroom and as a leader on this basketball team. Then he's going to graduate after the fall semester this year. I'm excited about that. He's been a great leader and a great friend to our young guys. We even talked a few weeks ago, Vinny and I sat down and talked about him possibly coaching one day, because he has that kind of personality and he knows that much about the game, and the guys just really love him. He's a hard worker. He's a great kid. He knows everybody. I can't tell you the number of people that Vinny has helped us in regards to recruiting and everything else. And as a basketball player, he's going to have to step up this year, and he's going to have to knock down some shots and be a great shooter again for us this year, as he's been in the past. So, but we're excited about what he brings, his experience to the table. It's pretty scary when you think about it. I mean, obviously these guys were just getting their feet wet last year, a little bit last year during their freshman year, and then you ask these guys to come back and lead. But I will say this, these guys have just done an outstanding job, working really hard in the weight room this summer, working on their games, doing the things that they need to do to get better. And they brought that work ethic and that attitude into this season, and they've been a big help, along with John and along with Vinny. Guys like Q, guys like Josh, guys like Frankie, and guys like that have just stepped up. Thomas Jacobs have stepped up and really done a great job for us. But they're still learning. They still don't have it all figured out too. But we're going to have to be patient with them. We're going to have to demand certain things. It's not always going to be pretty. But in the end, I've had young teams before. In the end, when you get these guys 2, 3, 4 years into it, it's very, very fun coaching those guys because of their experience. And Josh and Q and those guys are great listeners, and so we expect to have good things out of them. Things that sticks out in my mind was last year we were in the tournament, and when we played in the tournament last year at Anaheim, one of the officials came up to me toward the end of the game. We were losing, we were down to Santa Barbara, and he walked over to me and he said, "Man, that kid right there," he was pointing to Josh, he says, That kid just never quits. He just plays so hard. I can't tell you how hard that kid plays. And to me, that kind of capsulizes who Josh Green is. He's probably one of the most competitive guys I've ever coached. Doesn't like to lose. He works hard. He works hard on his game, on his own. And so he has an expectation when he steps on the floor that he's going to perform well. He's going to do the things that are necessary for him to be good. You know, obviously the things I need for Josh to do is I need for him to defend. I need for him to really put as much energy and much time as he does on the offensive end, on the defensive end. And he's really locked into doing that this year for us. But obviously he's going to be a big guy for us. About Akil is his size. He's a point guard who's at 6'3", 6'4", who can handle the ball. He's strong. He can get in the lane. He can finish some plays there. He shoots the ball well from the outside. He just gives you a different look than what we normally have. And when you add Alan Guay, the young man that we brought in this year from Compton, a freshman point guard who I just love to death, and you bring in his style of play, his speed, his quickness, his size versus Q, I think both of those guys are going to give us a different dimension when they're in the basketball game, and hopefully not allow people to get locked into how we're going to play. People probably won't even recognize Thomas when they see it because of his body, how much he's grown, but how much bigger and stronger he's gotten. When the season was over last year, literally the game was over. We were in the elevator heading back upstairs to pack to go home after the tournament last year. Thomas looked at me in the elevator and said, "It begins for me right now. Get myself bigger and stronger." And that's exactly what he's done over the summer. And hopefully he's going to take what he did toward the end of the season, which he just began to understand our system, understood his role a little bit more, and he's going to bring that into us this year. He's going to have to score a little bit for us this year. He's one of our hardest working post guys, probably our best post defender. Strong kid, good athletic kid, rebounds the ball, but we're going to need for him to score around the basket and do some things. Well, I've already mentioned Alan Guay. We're extremely excited about him. Just 2 weeks into practice, I can't tell you, I don't think his team has lost any competitions yet in practice. So when you talk about a guy who's competitive, a guy who knows how to play the game and lead his team, I think Alan is that guy. We're extremely blessed and fortunate to have gotten Alan late in the year like we did last year. So he's a guy that's going to play big minutes for us, and we think he's going to do some special things for us. We got another guy from Taft High School, Stephen Maxwell, about 6'6", 6'7", three-man who's just a stud athletically. Doesn't even know how good he's going to be, but he's a young guy, hasn't lifted a lot of weights. You would think he's lived in the weight room, but he's just got a big, strong, athletic body who we need for him to step up and play a couple of positions for us. So we're expecting some good things out of him, as well as Devon Potts, a freshman that we signed, who's a great outside shooter, gives us some perimeter shots, guys that play against zone against us. He'll get an opportunity to step in and play in those situations. It's always been that way because I think it does prepare us for conference. I also think our players want to play the best competition, so we do everything we can to put them in a position to see where they are, to see where we are. Maybe if we don't play these kind of games, the overall record looks a little bit better at the end of the year, but when it's all said and done, such as we did last year, when you play a tough schedule, give yourselves a chance to get better. By the time we got to conference last year, we were doing some good things, and we gave ourselves a chance to finish towards the top of the conference, and so that's what we're hoping to do again this year. Very, very proud of the guys for that. We got 1,000 on our APR last year, we had over 3.0 GPA as a team last year, so these guys came in here and worked extremely hard. That's another advantage that we have when we bring in young kids. We have a chance to get them in, get them involved and acclimated to our academic system and our academic structure and what we're looking to do. And so we're very, very proud of that, and we're going to continue to work hard in that area.